we get to things. Again, you went through this, but it bears repeating a little bit. All right. There's some full essential effect. Do you know why it's doing this? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's it. Oh no, it's just I had a sidebar. I took it. That's okay. That's okay. All right. Extreme close up. Close up. The closer you get into a face, until you finally get into the eyes or into a shot of the mouth, this is the most extreme close up. Again, the closer I am to the person, the more emotionally connected I am with the person. The further I go out. Where I edit, where I cut, whether on camera or on your platform, when you edit a shot, when you go close up, you don't have to take pictures. I'm going to put these files for you. Don't worry about it. All right? Any file I explained in class that's not on your hard disk, you can always message me, tell me. I'll put them forward there, and I'm going to put the videos up as well. Medium close. Notice something. We never cut on a joint. So never cut right at the knees. Above, below the hips, or above the hips, below the chest. What happens when you cut on the joint is the image looks really freaky. You don't know how tall the person is because you don't know where the joint ends. So we need the joints to either show or be outside the image. Don't cut in the middle of them. So yeah, for you to generally learn, especially for instance for me here, when I travel, when I'm directing, or I'm working with an editor, when you talk about shots, because they mean different things to different people, and you say medium close or close, what you usually do is you put your hands, and you go, I want this much in the frame, I want that much in the frame, I want it this wide. See the difference in psychology? From this shot, establishing shot, full shot of the person, to going to a medium close of the person. Don't crop at leg joints. Okay. So if you go from this to this, the audience is going to jump back a little bit. It's a little bit shocking. So what we do is, just run some paintings. If you don't know Caravaggio as a painter, by the way, he's one of the best for lighting and emotions on the face, so you want to look at that. So if I want to get to this, okay, this is the sequence of shots and edits that I would do. So this is how you would edit it. Starting a conversation with her boss, closer over the shoulder, external, internal over the shoulder, only of her, close up. This made me feel with this character. So if I go back from this to just one shot on the boss, it makes me hate her boss and love her, just by choosing the edit. So again, people around her, further away, single shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, so on. Where they look, what's my next picture in the edit?
Down.
What they're looking at. So if you go from this to another person in the room looking at something else, means you have a bad editor. Because language of the visual tells you when they look down, I need to see what they're looking at. Then we can go to that. Okay? We'll go either here or here. Usually this, go. Last thing in conversations. And then we'll go into editing again. 2 people talking, your basic shoot. So we're talking about the 180 line. This is my conversation. This is where the cameras will be. And this is what I'm going to see from them. Okay? 1 shot, 2. Notice, remember when we're saying that law of 2/3? Where a picture is framed? These are the lines of the 2/3. 1 line, 2nd line. Eyes on the top. This is the 3rd line. where the eyes are, what they're looking at. Okay, so here's the trick. See where the camera is for the girl? See where the camera is for the guy. How far you are and if there's an object between you affects your psychology. Notice. Notice how close you feel with her. Notice how less close you feel with that. Teachers do the same trick. When you come to our office, we sit behind our desk and sit you on the other side. It creates a barrier, a space. Also gives us more power because we're the ones sitting behind the desk, you're sitting on a small chair in front. So it's the psychology of how you frame things. If you move the camera closer to the guy, further away from the girl, you care more about him, less about her. So controlling the distance and also controlling the distance of where you're looking. When they're far away from where they're looking, it's less personal. So like this, you're watching from the outside, move the camera closer to where she's looking, and you care more about what she's saying. So you go from this to this. Notice the difference in those two shots when you're editing. So you'll get 4 or 5 takes of the same conversation or 10 takes of the same conversation from the different cameras. How you edit it, how long you spend on her face, his face, a far shot from her, a close shot from him. This controls what they say and how it feels. So if they're saying they love each other and you keep shooting, you keep taking edits for him from a distance and from her from close up, it'll feel like she loves him, he doesn't love her. Reverse it, you can manipulate it. What is said is not as important as how you show the visual image of it. Okay. We're understanding shot composition, how the frame is working, why I would go in closer, why I wouldn't, how I lay them up, how I can change emotion and things. Are all these kind of becoming clear? Yeah. Okay, yes, wonderful. All right. Please, if you haven't watched Stay, it's definitely worth watching. There are a lot of amazing movies for editing, for everything. Stay is a brilliant film. Definitely worth watching. Wes Anderson is an amazing director. I'll show you some more clips next time from different directors, how they make their composition, how they make their edits. All right. And I will hand it